In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create a reusable block or pattern in WordPress. But what is a reusable block? Well, to put it simply, reusable blocks or patterns are a piece of content that you can save and reuse across pages or posts without having to rebuild it every time. For example, you could build a beautiful info box just once, and then you can insert the whole thing, the info box, on another page without rebuilding the entire thing from scratch. So this is a fantastic way to maintain consistency, saves time, and improve the efficiency of your content creation process. With that being said, here's how you can create a reusable block in WordPress. Just so you know that I'm using WordPress.org or WordPress self-host, and I'm running the version 6.4.3, which may have a different interface to other WordPress versions, but I believe they will be more or less similar. Alright, let's get started. Okay, to create a reusable block, you must go to your WordPress dashboard, click Post, and then add new post. Now, we are actually not going to publish this content. We're going to use it as a sandbox where we can start making the reusable block. So I'm going to just name it Reusable Block Sandbox. Again, we are not going to publish this particular post. We're just using it to create our reusable block. So here you can start building your reusable content. You could build a table, an info box, or call to action button, or pretty much anything. It's totally up to you. But in this example, I'm going to build a simple info box, and I'm going to speed up for you so you don't have to watch the entire thing. And I'll be back in a second. Okay, I have created this reusable block, but this is not yet reusable. What I need to do now is to select the entire block and then click this icon, and then you can click create pattern. But if you're building your pattern with multiple blocks, you must group them first. So in this example, I'm going to create something just to give you a demonstration. Let's say I have there are two blocks, and if I want to group them, I have to select them with the cursor, and then this toolbar will appear and you can click group. And only after that you can click on this options menu and then click create pattern. So that's how you can create a group from your blocks. So moving on, I'm going to remove this first. I'm going to turn this into a reusable block. So I have to click the whole thing and then click the options menu, click create pattern. So I'm going to name it, let's say, my info box. And then I'm going to select category. The category is completely optional. You can choose not to do that. But in this example, I'm going to select about as the category. And then you have the option whether or not you want to sync the block. I personally recommend to sync the block because that means at some point you want to change the content of the block. And when you do that, the changes will be synced across other pages. So any page that is using that particular block will be changed automatically without you having to go one by one manually to change just one thing. So that's the benefit of syncing your reusable block. And I'm going to explain that a bit more later, but for now I recommend to just sync the reusable block, and then you can click create. And there you have it. You have successfully created a reusable block of your own. And now I'm going to show you how you can reuse the reusable block that you have created earlier. So for example, here I have a sample post, and I'm going to insert this reusable block into this without manual copy and paste. So to do that, you have to enter a new block. So in this case, I want to put the reusable block here, and then you can click the plus button, and then you can start typing the name of the block that you have created. My block name was my info box, and it will appear here, and I can click and it will be inserted automatically. And remember, this reusable block is synced. So every time you change the original reusable block, the change will be reflected to other pages. So I'm going to show you a quick demonstration. I want to change this year from 2015 to, let's say, 2020. What I need to do is to open a Gutenberg editor. You can open any posts or pages, and then click on this icon and click manage patterns. I think it is worth mentioning that I'm using the default 2024 theme from WordPress, and when you open the manage pattern page, you will be given this kind of page. But other third-party themes will probably not see something like this. They're going to see just a regular list of patterns that have created. This one is kind of confusing and a bit more complicated, but rest assured the process is the same. I want to edit my info box reusable block. I'm going to the about category and then click on my reusable block, and I can click edit. And here I can start changing the content and it will be reflected to other pages. Let's say I'm going to change the year from 2015 to 2020 just to give you a quick demonstration, and then I can click save. Okay, it has been updated. So let's see the draft that I showed you earlier. And there you have it. Notice that the year has turned from 2015 to 2020, and I'm not even touching anything on this article. I just changed that info from the reusable block. But what if you want to insert a reusable block, but you don't want it to be synced with the rest? So it's going to be a reusable block that is treated individually. For that, you can use the detaching feature. So what you need to do is click on the reusable block and then click the menu here, and then you can click detach pattern. And now this has turned into just a regular block. It is no longer a reusable block or pattern. Again, I'm going to show you another example. Remember that the year is 2020 here, and I'm going to change the number on the reusable block again. So I'm going to save it as a draft first, and then I'm going to open the menu and manage patterns again. So let's go back here. I'm going to the reusable block again. Okay, remember that initially the year was 2015 and then I changed it to 2020, and then I'm going to change it again, let's say to 2024, and then I'm going to click save. The changes that I made here is not going to be reflected on that article. So let's go back on that article. Okay, I'm going to just refresh the page. Remember, it's still 2020, and yeah, it didn't change. It's still 2020 because this block is not being affected. It is no longer a reusable block, but you can still use the reusable block. For example, I'm going to insert another reusable block. Again, the same reusable block. So I can just click it here, my info box, and look at that. Now there are two versions. One that says 2020 and another says 2024. This one is reusable, but this one is not reusable. And that's basically the way the syncing process works in the reusable block in WordPress. So I guess that's pretty much it. That's how you can create a reusable block in WordPress. But the Gutenberg editor has plenty of features. Check out this video to learn more about how you can change the individual text color in the Gutenberg editor without needing any plugin.